Hello, Karen. Brooklyn. I'm okay. I want to kind of like finish where I left off at to a degree, but I'm just taking a different way. Before I went up Broadway, this time I'm going up Water Street. Still gonna hit Wall Street, but I'm gonna go beginning of Wall Street, and then I'm gonna hit the World Financial Center, which is the World Trade Center. That's what I'm gonna do different today. Oh, thank you for subbing. Thank you very much. As I said before, I do this pretty much every day. Yesterday was my first time I got caught in the rain, so I may start doing rainy days too. I like to take showers and baths, but I don't like wet clothes. But it wasn't too bad yesterday. It's off and on like showers. I was gonna start earlier, but I didn't. Like the whole tip of Manhattan is the financial district. People live in some of these buildings because I've done work in them before. Well, it is a Saturday, so it's not going to be too much. Plus, when I started at the Staten Island Ferry, so I waited for mostly everybody to leave, and I was hoping nobody would play any music so I can start off at the right spot. I wanted to start there yesterday, so I got a good start today. Usually this area is, from Monday to Friday, is really crowded. Basically, I'm starting at the end of Wall Street, and I'm gonna walk to the beginning. And they knocking this building down. My mother used to work here back in the 1980s, 70s. This is 111 Wall Street, and they knocking it down, or they refacing it. I see a lot of that going on these days. Take an old building and let's redo the whole thing. Well, I didn't go to Times Square yet. I'm just coming outside, so I ain't get that far. Got a long way to go. That's 110, and behind me is 111. The groundwork to this building, to me, it was the best ground that I've ever seen. What they did, they used crushed glass. So anytime you was in this area, the ground was always sparkling. You know, it was nice. It gave off a really to come to this building. That's how I always remembered it. Like I said, I can't tell if they're gonna knock it down or rebuild it. There's no construction workers around, so I can't even tell. But we on Wall Street. Like I said, this is the end of Wall Street. I'm going to walk to the very beginning and take it to the World Trade Center. Sky looking good. It was supposed to be cloudy today. I guess not. It's supposed to be earlier. It's supposed to be sunny like it is now. Then it was supposed to get cloudy for the rest of the day, but it looks like it's going to clear up. It looks like it's going to stay clear. For those who are new to this channel, this is a walking channel of New York City that I do daily. And like and subscribe. As you can see, I do 360 turns. I do quarter turns. I start from the bottom of a building, and I'll rise to the top so you can see what the whole building looks like. I'll do multiple angles. That's like the Flatiron building, that one in the middle. Flatiron building is in the Flatiron district, 23rd Street on 5th Avenue, on Broadway. It divides between two streets, shares two streets. Nice looking building right here. This is not an old building in comparison to the ones I just showed you, but they gave it that effect. Now, that's a building I never went in. Oh, thank you. Well, most people just keep the camera low like this, and they don't lift the camera up. They only lift it up to buildings that's, you know, real popular and all of that. I try to lift the camera up more often than most, but I can't zoom in because I'm on a wide angle lens. I can't do that. I got to know this area pretty well. Was I used to be a messenger in the beginning, back in the 1980s, the mid 1980s, like 86, and so I got to know mainly the Wall Street area, and I worked in the area for like 8 years. I started working for Merrill Lynch, and working with securities at the time, stocks and bonds. So when I did messenger work for a company called Interim, that's why I started working for different companies like Chase, because it was just like you say, Interim. It was an agency. It's dangerous. So I got to work for different companies. I used to do work for Chase, but mainly I was working for Merrill Lynch. But I did like night jobs for Interim. So I worked in a Prescott Ball and Turbine. That was in the World Trade Center, Building 2. I used to work on the 56th floor. So we had to take elevator banks. You go to one elevator bank just to go to the 50th floor, then you go to another elevator bank, and then it'll take you up from 50th to the 110th. It was that type of thing. There's a tour guide. So I was working in Prescott Ball and Turban for like a year before I started with Merrill Lynch. I used to love this area, man. This is the New York Stock Exchange. After they knocked that whole area, that's when they started putting up fences, gates, and you name it. But one of the main things I liked about working here in this area was you always saw something different. They just put this here last year. This wasn't here for a long time. They had a ceremony for it, and I was here to see it, but I didn't stick around. It was around Christmas time. They had the big tree in that area, and then they did the ceremony for this. Once again, the New York Stock Exchange. Hello, Scott Briggs. I don't know, I might head over to the Tribeca area. So this building, which you see George Washington in front of, they're gonna work on that. That's gonna be closed for 10 years for renovations. But it might be even longer because they started working on this around the time when this whole pandemic thing came about. So you know. All right. Thing is, when it comes to eating food, I go to the same spot pretty much every day. I know that I've been going to the same place since what it was, 1998. So the guy got an extensive menu. The place is called Eva's. It's on 8th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. In the West Village. So I always go there to eat, even if I gotta travel a distance to go, because it's a health food spot. See, that's the security. So I'm always trying to eat healthy instead of, I mean, I do eat junk food too, but I'm talking about a meal. I try to stick with Eva's. Place is doctor recommended. Eva's the place I'm talking about. That's one of the tour guides. This truck is blocking the damn front of the building. I'm gonna get a shot of it though. Try to get a wide, this is the wide angle shot anyway, but I'm hoping for it not to be there. Oh, this is good. All right. I didn't even hear that bike come up on me. Yeah. That church is over 100 years old. If anything this city has is a lot of churches. Plenty of them. So you see this patch of green that's stretching throughout the city. These are bike lanes. And they can be dangerous at times. I'm taking a gamble doing what I'm doing. Especially those guys with electric bikes. You don't even hear those bikes coming up. At least a bike that you pedal, you can hear the gears, but the electric bikes, you don't hear it until it's up on you. I've been fortunate, I've never gotten hit. Now in between these buildings, I used to go to this place called Big Al's. And by the name Big Al's was Chicago style pizza. And it was deep dish. Talk about feasting off of that stuff. I used to eat it all the time. You know that's not good for you, but that was back in the 80s. They probably closed during I don't know when they closed, but whenever they did, wasn't a good thing for me. I'm pretty sure they closed back in the 90s. And this building right here is 165 Broadway, 1 Liberty Plaza. I used to work, that's the building I used to work in. I used to be on the 4th floor for Merrill Lynch. So we was able to see the park, but they redecorated the park anyway. I'll show you the park again. Yeah, they redid this whole park. In fact, I'm gonna show you a statue that used to be in the park and they moved it. Oh, this girl is like, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. Well, we used to look out the window, like if it's winter, nobody's going outside to eat unless they're bringing a lunch back in. But this is the statue that used to be in the park. But this park was full of entertainment. They used to have 2 guys that used to come in and skateboard back in the 80s. And they used to jump people. And they'll jump like, in the beginning they started jumping like skateboards and things of that nature. Then they started jumping people. People, they did it. You know, they went for it and they made the jumps every time. 2 guys. That was their thing. And then they had a guy who was a mime. He used to do that. Walking around, and he'll imitate your walk. That was his thing. You'll walk, and he'll just walk up behind you and imitate your walk and have everybody laughing. By the time you realize somebody is behind you, you don't walk like who knows how many yards. And he was fun. And then they had a family. I think it was like 3 or 4 sons and the father. And they used to do acrobatics in this park. They play some music a little bit, and I think they're from the Caribbean. I think Jamaica, not too sure. And that was their thing. They used to come here and do flips. And this, like I said, this is all back in the 80s to the mid 90s. But they made the park look even nicer the way they got it done now. All of those little like bluish green strips you see on the ground, those are lights. So at nighttime it looks really nice. And where it says Fidelity, that used to be Brooke Brothers, the clothing company for like men. And as you can see, this is the World Trade Center site. Can't remember the name of the pizza spot. But that says Hank's Pizza. It had a different name at the time. They changed everything about it. So we used to go there all the time to eat pizza. Now, when I used to go to the World Trade Center, I used to always come over here because they had different types of, mainly jazz music and classical music. So they always had a stage set up in the summertime, and that's what they would do, play music and have different orchestras. Sometimes they have mainly different orchestras coming out, or jazz bands that would come out and play. We will walk over here. The only thing is, they never had trees like they have now. They didn't have trees at that time when the World Trade Center site was up. Fire department. This is the fire department of the area. They still haven't completed that structure. I don't know what it's going to be for sure. I don't come over here that much unless I'm doing a job on a fish tank. Speaking of the guy, I was talking about Eva's. The guy gave me a thumbs up. His name is Steve. He's from Greece. I always send him videos or pictures when I can on different topics. That's all marble. I gotta find out what that's gonna be. I've been working on it for the longest. Oh man, I don't know, I might go up there. Can't tell if this guy's gonna make a left or a right. So that ball you see up there, it's like copper tone. That used to be in the World Trade Center site. And it got hit by the building and whatnot, so that's why it looks all mangled up. But we used to stand around that to make shade because it's so big. So that we used to always go to that spot and listen to the music that way. This is like something out of a movie. Well, the Performance Arts Center, I'm not going to say that's not going to be one, but the one I showed you earlier. The Performance Arts Center is the building after that building that's low. I'm going to go over there anyway. But it's going to be a Performance Arts Center over there. The one I showed you with that big ball on top, and it was all made out of marble. I don't know what. I never went over there to check the signs. They put like signs of what it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like. Yeah, this whole site is the Twin Towers site. But funny is, I made an attempt, because I had this girl with me at the time. Back then it was cheap. It was like $3 to go to the observation deck. I have no idea what it is now. We're talking the 1980s when I was going to go to the observation deck. I thought, at that time, I thought the observation deck was free. I got in line. It was like, it cost money. I was like, money? I was broke at the time. And we just left. I never went back. But, yeah, I was going to get on the observation deck for that. I never went. Most New Yorkers don't do anything that's touristy anyway, because you see it all the time. Yeah, see, you went. That's good. I only do touristy things now because I'm doing this for y'all, like YouTube. You know. Other than that, I really don't do it. Like I used to work across the street, working on a job at around the world, not the World Trade, because I'm here. Empire State Building. I used to work on a fish tank around that area. I still never went to the Empire State Building. And I was working on that tank every week. I'm pretty sure that's with any place you go to. People that live there, they really don't go to the tourist attractions. You know, I mainly go to like tourist attractions. Like before I started doing YouTube for it, I would go for entertainment purposes because I knew somebody was gonna be there. That's when I was going all the time. Well, I was born and raised in Harlem, and I never get tired of being in Manhattan. And I live in Staten Island, but I don't do anything in Staten Island. I don't even know my way around. And I've been living out there longer than anywhere. And I lived in all the boroughs except Brooklyn. But yeah, I never get tired of Manhattan. I wish I could move back. And I won't have to rush home. Even though the Staten Island ferry is 24 hours, you know, I'd still rather be in the city where I can just come outside and hang out. I did a TikTok video last year around this area when they had the ceremony and the closing of this area. It was like the NBC, you know, networks like that. They had to hang out in another area. They couldn't be in this area for some reason. And it was just mainly for the public, for people to walk around. I guess they didn't want all of those, you know, on this ground like that. Going in this direction now. Center. It's another area I used to hang out during lunch or after work. And they always, that's Brookfield Place. And they always have entertainment over there also. That's another spot. I'm gonna have to do that another day. For some reason, I was getting a lot of battery life last year when I bought this phone. Ever since the I think it's 5G. Ever since that started really kicking in, it's been killing my battery life. I used to get 4 hours. Now I get 2 good hours. I still have some Hey, how you doing, Soho? So this is the building that's going to be a performance arts building. They haven't completed it, of course, but this is the building that's going to be the performing arts. So I don't know what the other marble building is going to be. You know what that is? Chelsea is a nice area. I don't know how far I'm gonna take this. Well, I'm gonna walk back towards oh, this is what it's gonna look like. Look at that. That's going to be performing arts. Back up a little bit. Those are the steps. I have a bunch of, I got almost a crate full of magazines that I collected during the, you know, that disaster they did when they knocked the buildings down. So I got like covers, almost every cover of the World Trade Center site when it fell. And I worked that day too. But I didn't work in this area. I was working in the West Village. And when the first plane hit, I was on my way to work. So I was approaching 8th Street. I was coming through Washington Square Park, that area. Plane, I just heard it because I was on a bicycle. So I couldn't look up. I'm riding. And the plane was so low you can hear it through the buildings. And I heard somebody say that plane is flying low, it's gonna hit something. And my job was 1 block away, which is on Broadway and 8th Street. And I was at Washington Square Park. I was coming between the buildings. As soon as I got to the job, somebody said the building got hit. I was like, what? And then when because this is the morning, of course. And then when I got inside, when the guy opened the door for us to get inside, this guy's bugging. Then the second building got hit. And that's when we noticed, that's when we really knew, you know, what was going on then. That's how fast it happens. A matter of minutes. But that plane got down there real quick because it's doing about 400 miles per hour. And it was flying low. Flying at 1,000 feet. Hitting the building, 1,000 feet for a plane that big is low. I'm just gonna walk in here real quick so you can see the inside. I have a video that's like 1.5 hours long of me doing this, the Oculus. So you can check that out on this channel. But like I said, I'm gonna give you a brief walk-in right now. Let this guy come out.
other doors right there.
It looked like whale bones. When you walk throughout the building, all this look like whale bones. It's like you're walking inside of a big whale. I'm not gonna walk through the whole building because I can lose the signal, and it can get real bad. So when I did the video for the Oculus, I did like I said, it's about an hour and a half, something like that or less. I did a walkthrough without going on Wi-Fi. So there's no interruptions, no camera jittering of any kind. So what I was saying about the magazines, what I may do is talk to somebody about donating the magazines because they're in pristine condition. What I did, I bought them, and most of them I didn't even look through. I just bought them and put them in plastic bags, like comic book plastic bags, but it's magazine plastic bags, and put an acid board behind it, and those magazines look like they're brand new. So I'm gonna go this way. Yep. I don't know what those blocks are for. Maybe they had a performance or something, or they're creating something. New to this channel, this is the walking channel of New York City. So I do this every day. I try to do live uploads like this all the time if I can. I mean, because people like to see New York when it's raining for some, and it does look nice. I just don't want to walk in the rain. I don't like walking in wet clothes, but I can easily get a bag or a pullover to combat that anyway. But if you haven't, like and subscribe to this channel, share it. And follow me every chance you get, because I'm going to be out here. Once again, this is the Oculus. Hello, Blue Devil X. I'm not ignoring anybody, it's just that I can't catch everybody who's typing something in, because I'm constantly looking around me for a new spot to film, and my safety, as in I don't want to get hit by a bicycle or a skateboard or anything of that nature. I'm from New York City. born and raised. That's why I said I can be out here every day. But I mainly do my posts like this after work. But I'm on vacation right now, so I can come outside anytime. But mainly it's after work. Usually I work from 10 to 7. Yeah, check them out. I never seen it with the lights blinking at the bottom like that before. So that's a new vehicle. I can see, yeah, that's new. Now this is what I was saying. This is the bike path. They just didn't color it green because you can see they have it outlined in these stumps. Plus they use it for vehicles like emergency vehicles like the ambulance. You see the police. They use it for them also. Oh man, I can't say that name. I'm sorry, but thank you for subscribing. For all those who subscribe, thank you. I can't pronounce some of these names, man. They be killing me. I greatly appreciate it. Well, this really is the best time to come to New York if you want to visit. The reason I say that is because, like I was saying earlier, for me, it's the entertainment. Plus the weather is dry. Because majority of the people come here, they come here around Christmas time. Because they want the, you know, they want to come for the sales. And the sales are good, but you know, I'm saying if you want to come, if you can take the cold weather, yeah, it's good. I'm not good in the cold weather. So I won't go anywhere where it's cold for vacation. You know, if you can deal with it, that's a good thing. I like to go where it's hot. Yeah, that's what I want to do, if I do it. I really know, I'm not too sure if I want to sell it on the street. That's why I was saying, they probably have their magazines anyway, but I'm guessing they don't, you know. That's my guess, I could be wrong. I have every magazine that was released, at least in New York, pretty much. I have practically every magazine with the World Trade Center on the front. This is like a Fulton Mall, small one. But this went up a few years ago. Well, not a few, well over 10 years ago. St. Paul's Chapel. Road looking with the red, when it's red like this is a bus lane. So cars are not supposed to park here. St. Paul's Chapel. And everything. Well, if I give them away to, like I said, one of the museums, it'll be just a charity thing. It's not something I would make money off anyway. It's another spot I used to come hang out and eat after work. And that's City Hall Park. Mainly the public library, you gotta, I believe you just gotta read the books as you there. But I think most books you probably can get online anyway. It ain't the same as holding a book in your hand. And this the Woolworth building. I used to work on the fish tank in here. That's a nice building. So I kind of came through here yesterday. I just took a different route. So every few months they do this to the park. Not just this park, but most parks that's popular like this. And they'll put like art throughout the city like this and take it down and put up another one. This is the phone. These are all rusty metal. And those lamps like that, they have fire in them at night rather than a light bulb. When you come to look at it, you're gonna see light as in fire. I don't know if they're doing it now, like when the nighttime comes around, but that's what they normally do. And that's City Hall. Well, I get as close as I can again. And a comb. I'm sweating like I was running. I can't believe this. I'm not even walking fast. So that's City Hall. All right.
Freedom Tower, I'm sorry.
So if you're new to this channel, this is the walking channel of New York City. I do daily walks every day. Like, subscribe, share. I also have a TikTok channel by the same name, NYCEEFX. This means nice effects, New York City, everything. That's what it is. Of course, I'm not doing everything. That's impossible, but I'll show you the city as best as I can, when I can. Since I work in leaving Manhattan, walking around Manhattan when I get off work. So that's I'm usually gonna be in Manhattan when I do the videos. City Hall.
JP is the
Going up that way is Brooklyn Bridge. I can't zoom in because I'm on a wide angle lens. So that's why I can't zoom in. I'm pretty sure you can see it. I gotta walk that one of these days. I used to go in J&R Music World all the time. That and Crazy Eddie's. Oh man, I gotta turn the music off. I gotta turn the mics off, sorry. Reason they have to turn the mic off because it's copyrighted music. That's the reason why. So you get penalized for stuff like that. And I used to work at 165 Broadway, so Crazy Eddie was right across the street on the second floor. So I was always there. I was a kind of a audio nut. And then I came over in this area, J&R Music World, for the same thing. Because it was a little further, but I mainly went there after work. Because J&R was a bigger store anyway. You know what? I'm gonna go through Tribeca instead. I was gonna go through Chinatown, but I'm gonna go through Tribeca, and then I may go through Chinatown. So one of the things you'll see me constantly do is I move the camera around a lot, so you can get a good look at the buildings that I'm walking past. This is the other building for the City Hall. And also, I like to duck the scaffolding. I have to duck the music. Maybe somebody being a nuisance. So I try to duck all of that. Anything that looks like a headache, I try to get out of its way or avoid it. So one of the things I was gonna say I don't do is I don't tell people where celebrities live. Like, I don't point that kind of stuff out, because the company I work for, they never said anything. But we have celebrities as accounts, and I just don't like doing that kind of stuff, giving somebody's position up. Basically, that's what it is. Nobody wants to come out their door and somebody's looking at them, in that way. At least I wouldn't want it. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want it either. But you can check out other YouTubers or TikTokers or what have you, and they'll be happy to give you that kind of information. I just don't do it. Well, I used to work at the Wiz. You remember Nobody Beats the Wiz? I used to work there. I worked there for like 5 years. So I got to hang out with the amplifiers and the speakers and whatnot. I did stock there for a while, for like a year, I think. Then after that, I went into sales. I didn't like doing the sales. So that didn't last for me. I went right back to stock. I was like, man, I can't be sitting up here trying to sell stuff for commission. I'm trying to duck the scaffolding. That's why I'm in this. Well, the thing with Crazy Eddie, the guy had got a divorce from his wife. I don't know who put it out there like that, but they was from Long Island, I believe. And so I think she got half of the what he was worth or whatever. And then they closed. That's why Crazy Eddie closed down. It wasn't like he wasn't doing good business. But they kept a store open in Long Island, I believe. But I guess after a while, I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to keep it going or something. The same thing with Petland. The guy who owned Petland, he had a whole bunch of stores. And he kept it going, and after he passed away, the family just closed the business down. I guess they didn't want to deal with it. And plus, Petco was coming on the scene, and they kind of took over the sales in that sense. Some people don't want to deal with all of that stuff, so that's why they probably shut it down. me go over one more block. Hello, Argentina. All right. Yeah, post up where you from. You don't have to put your name, but you can post up like which state, city, country, continent, where you from. I'll try to catch it when I can. I didn't even know they had a boxing center over here. Mayweather. Yeah. I might go over there and check it out. It says Mayweather Boxing Fitness Tribeca. I love boxing, but I don't keep up on anything too tough. I don't have a TV. I stopped watching TV, period. Threw my TV out. I gotta remember to come by there just to see what it looks like, if they'll let me in. Pretty much in the Tribeca area. Tribeca is known for indie films because now I'm just gonna tell you what I normally would do when I see a celebrity. I just give them like a salute, like you would as a soldier. That's what I do. I never run up on them. The only time I'll stop to talk to them, any of them, is if there's a crowd around them already. I'll go over just to listen to what they're saying. The reason I do that is because you never know who you running up on. What I mean by is they could have had a bad day, you know, probably had an argument or something like that, or they just ain't feeling it. So that's why I don't run up on celebrities. And this area is kind of like that. Celebrity, you know, people who live around here. But that's what I do. I just give them the salute. And that's it. I say hello. Now, if they want to take the conversation further than that, then I'll talk. But normally I don't. Give them a salute, keep the stepping. Or unless they're working, that's something else. Like an autograph signing or something like that, I'll check them out that way. If they're working. But not while they just hanging out. Yeah, I've never gone to the Tribeca Film Festival. That's another thing. I think you have to get tickets for that. You just can't walk in on that kind of stuff, because they have film projects of different types. So it's not like it's one building. They have them all over the city. Well, at least in this area, where they showcase different films, short indie films. It's pretty much like the Cannes Film Festival. Basically, that's what he copied. But I think when you go to the Cannes Film Festival, it's cold. I'm not sure where it's at. I can't remember. I think John Denver, Colorado. I think that's where it's at. The Cannes Film Festival. Now, in this area, now when you get a spot here, you got to be rich anyway. But these are big apartments or lofts, if you want to call it that. That's PS 150. Yeah, I've worked on fish tanks in these type of buildings, and they're big. They got, like, one, if I pass by it, they got leather walls, padded leather walls throughout the building. What is it? Marble floors. Man, talk about the swank. It's insane with the how they put those. They take these old warehouse-like buildings and then they modernize it. Oh, okay. Oh boy, I'll try, because I'm not sure when I'm going to end this vlog. You know, I got to go eat too. But I might go as far as the village like I did yesterday. I'm just taking a different route this time around. I'm going through Tribeca. This is one building I want to go in. The one you see that looks like a Lego building of glass. Man, I want to get a job to go in there, like work on a fish tank and see how that building is. I passed by it quite a few times, but I've never, of course I never went in because I haven't a job there. I need to get my bicycle running. I gotta get that damn thing running, but I don't know. See, when I'm on the bike, I can get to places quicker, you know. Plus, riding a bike is fun for me, or a skateboard. And I can show a little bit rather than just walking. I think it's 3:15, the building. Yeah, so I got a ways to go. But that's how these buildings are. They'll take the old warehouse buildings and fix them up. They'll keep the original look on the outside, but when you go inside, it's totally modern. Like everything is totally changed. And they do a fantastic job of doing that. That's what I like. See, new buildings like this don't expect this to have the same type of room, the space that you would have in the old buildings, providing they didn't butcher it down into small apartments or whatever. Oh, let's see, there I am. I'm wrong. Cannes Film Festival. That's in France. I can't remember the other one. That's in Colorado. Jeez, I can't remember. That's the one. The one I'm talking about is Robert Redford. He's like the guy that's behind that one. The one I'm talking about. He started when I think it was back in the 70s or the 1980s, early 1980s. He started that film festival. And I think it's in Colorado. You're right, the Cannes is in France. Thanks for that. I don't keep up on stuff like I used to. I used to be like a film nut, going to the movies all the time in the 80s. See, these are the buildings you want to live in, I'm telling you. The new buildings are great looking. They glass and whatnot. I don't know, something about a stone building with a beautiful inside. That's what gets me. I think this is the building. I can't tell with all this structure going around it, but it looks like it. I think it's the building further down. Well, anyway, they pretty much did the same to all the buildings like this. And these are more like old factories. These type of buildings, these are old factories across the street. See, that's what I'm talking about. Buildings like this. This area is quiet too. Another thing with the cobblestone ground, like the street, well, this is new. The one you're looking at right now is new. All the ones like this, that's old with some tar. Doesn't look as good. Like a few blocks over going that way, what you're looking at. But it's school for kids though. Yeah, I think I passed it. I think it's that building. I don't recognize it with all of that scaffolding, but the building is beautiful on the inside. Elevators are nice and big. The ceilings are really high. Dumbo was another spot. That's in Brooklyn. I had to work on this lady's fish tank. Well, set up a fish tank. I think it was 150 gallons or something like that. And she had it was insane. Her ceilings was like 2 stories high, or some shit like that. It was crazy. I was like, God damn. She had 2 sons, and I think I went past the bedroom and they had a hammock. That's how high the ceilings were. They had a hammock. You know, they just having fun. I don't blame them. Yeah, so the building that had the scaffolding in it, that's the building I was talking about that had the leather walls and whatnot. Yeah, but any of these buildings I would go for. But I can imagine, like I said, you're gonna be paying $1 million or something for it. So if you're in the area of New York, well, you probably can get it online. The New York lottery is 400 million. That's a new building. Thing about areas like this is Tribeca. They have to build buildings like this. They can't put up no big skyscrapers. They have to build it within the means like the other buildings. So that's what I mean by like this building on the very end. This is a new building. They just made it look old. The ones you see with those dullish looking bricks, those are the old buildings. But that's new. I know that's new. I'm pretty sure they made it big on the inside. See, like this building, of course, is new, but it's low. It's probably like 5 stories. They didn't just put up no 40-story building around here. They put up a low building. I guess that's the code for the area. Let me get out. So if you're a fan of old architecture, Tribeca is a nice spot to hit, especially with these old factory type buildings. Soho, I don't know, I might pass through there. I went to this guy's house back in the mid-90s, and he was living in Soho when they took it over, gentrification thing going on. And he owned the whole floor. I was like, jeez. I think he was like in his 80s or 90s as an age, and he had 2 big old dogs. And as soon as when you go in the building, it looks beautiful and whatnot, and you get on the elevator. The elevator is old. Of course, they updated the machinery to make it move, but it didn't look so impressive. But man, when you got off the elevator, you was right in his apartment. I was like, man, and the place was big. It was not small whatsoever. It was huge. I was like, what this man gonna do with all this space? He had pillars going through the whole building, I mean the whole apartment or loft, because he owned the whole floor. And I was setting up a TV. That's what I was doing. But there's one building, I can't remember exactly where it's at. For those who are familiar, the Barbie doll houses, not. Man, I wish I had my camera with me. I can't remember exactly where it's at, but I'm gonna tell you, when they had big gates. They had big gates that stood around, I don't know, 7 feet tall. So when you look at it, I had to deliver. So when you look at it, it don't look like much. Deliver this TV, set it up, whatnot. Man, when those gates open, I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it. Because I've never seen nothing like it. So it had like a yard, and the yard was basically flat with skip-scap trees, and you walk this path pretty wide, as wide as the building. And this is an old brownstone. Brownstone is like, okay, this is perfect. That red building you're aiming the camera at right now, but just take one floor off. It was probably like 3 or 4 floors. Man, the building didn't even have a face to it. It was all glass, completely all glass, and you could see every room that apartment had, well, the building had. And it was like for one family. But the downside to me was when they took the face off, they didn't expand the rooms, at least from what I've seen. So the rooms weren't that big. So I was like, the idea was great. In my opinion, it was fantastic. You come home to a glass front and you can see in every room. To me, I love that. But like I said, they didn't whatchamacallit, like I said, with the making the rooms big. But whatever. The idea was great though. It looked just like a Barbie doll house. Hello, young Von Kim and Margie and Gimbo from Indonesia. Thanks for tuning in. So we're on Hudson Street. Thank you. Glad you tuned in. So this is what I look like. Oh man. I don't know who XYZ is, but thanks for tuning in. Well, the path I'm walking now, I'm on Hudson Street, so we're gonna be walking into the West Village. Too many trees. I can't see that building that well. Okay. Let's see. walking in a bike path, but there's nobody behind me, so I don't mind walking it. But remember, if you're not from New York and you come to visit, stay on the sidewalk. Don't get in this green path unless you're on one of those stumps, like, because you can get hit by a bicycle or a scooter or maybe even a car. Because what happens is, a lot of people who live here, and they're wrong, they stand in that lane. Those bicycles, they have electric bikes. You cannot hear those things. By the time you hear it, it's already up on you. And you can get hit. First thing you might do is either freeze, or you're gonna try to dodge it, and you might dodge the wrong way and get hit. And those electric bikes and skateboards and whatnot, some of them get hit 30 plus miles per hour. So getting hit like that is no fun. They had a lady in Central Park. I'm constantly looking around. She was in, I didn't see it, of course. I just heard about it. And what happened was, she was in Central Park. I think she was on the street path, and she got hit by an electric bike, and she died. So I don't know how fast the guy or girl was going, but I'm just letting you know. Even in Central Park, even though she was in Central Park, the streets are closed to regular traffic. So the only ones who can go drive through Central Park is like government vehicles, like the police department, fire department, ambulance, that type of, vehicles can go through. And it's indefinitely, so nobody can ever go through there with their vehicle. But the bikers, and I'm not against it, I ride a bicycle and a skateboard. So they ride through there fast sometimes. And this happened like, I don't know, 3 years ago. And she, like I said, she died. And I don't know actors of now, so I wouldn't even know who it is. But definitely stay off that green patch of turf. Well, it's just like anywhere you go. Every place got its good and bad, you know? I just happen to walk through the good neighborhoods. Because for one, I'm not looking to go through a bad neighborhood anyway. I'm not going to take the chance of getting hit, even if I don't get hit. You know, it's still a gamble when you do stuff like go through a bad neighborhood and you're walking with a $1,000 camera, which is the phone, and then the stick that I'm using to record everything, that's another $150, $200. You're looking at $1,100. I'm not taking a chance on my life like that. So don't go where it's not safe. For one, I was doing TikTok last year. live like I'm doing now. And they kind of funny. I was doing a walk like I'm doing now, and they turned me off. Like TikTok just shut me down. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Then they sent me a letter through the app saying I was cursing and all of this stuff. And at that time, I never talked. I used to just walk, but they watching, you know. That twice. They shut me off twice. And they, unless you dispute it. I disputed, and they brought me back because they found out I didn't say anything. But then again, you never know. There can be people that's watching your channel, and they'll shut you off. They'll say, well, he said this and that, and you ain't have to say anything. You got spiteful people that do stuff like that. I'm trying to duck the music. Heard me. Oh, sorry about the buffer. I don't see any towers around here. As in phone towers. So I'm probably losing the signal. So how you doing, Soho? Yeah, I don't see any, like on the tops of the buildings, you would normally see some type of communication for phones. I don't see any around here. So we may have some buffering issues.
My thing was, is it or
Thank you. Oh man. Gotta look at the ground a little bit more often than I am. Yeah, so that's why I really don't stream on TikTok anymore. They're kind of funny. For those who haven't already done it or don't know, this is a walking channel of New York City that I do daily. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, and check out my my TikTok channel. It's the same name as this one, NY. Once again, it's NYCEEFX. It means New York City, everything. Effects. TikTok, I put 15 seconds to 3-minute videos up. I have music behind that also. And I don't play just one type of music. Music from the 1930s all the way up until now. Right. Those things come.
For us to become a
In the this whole area, it seems like it's, like I said, I don't see any buildings with towers that promote cell phones. I don't see any. So it's gonna have buffering issues. brownstones like this. It's up. I'm on the wrong block. Yeah, I'm on the wrong block. But those buildings. Yep, that's the school. And this is the church. I'm not directly in front of it, but I'll do it when I get across the street. If anyone's new to this channel, this is a walking channel of New York City. I do walks every day. Let me get in front of this church. That's what it looks like. I'll give you a good look at it. This is 6th Avenue, Avenue of Americas. And this is West 5th Street. Well, this is Washington Place. As I was saying earlier, if you're new to this channel, this is the walking channel of New York City. I take the trains, the bus, the boat, taxis. I even take tours. I'm on here already because of me doing it. And enjoy it. They're usually about, my videos last you. And I 80. And where I'm leaving. And now we're approaching Washington Square Park.
Roxanne. Tom. House by the
come here almost every day because the place I go to is close by that I eat at. So I'm gonna go soon. Sounds like a live band. As entertainment, this is the place to be. Okay, Mr. Kim. You have a good day. Thanks for signing in. Oh, this is who it was. Okay. I love Central Park too, but to get around Central Park, you need some type of transportation to see everything. Here, you can just walk to what you want to see or hear. That's why I love this park. I like to ride my bike through here and skateboard and whatnot. Got some type of trip going on. I don't know what it is. And a band. That's why I got my back turned to the fountain. Live band. Okay, people, I'm gonna sign out. Get something to eat. Hopefully, I may come back. It depends how fast I can charge up my phone. So you have a good day. I hope to see you on the next one. All right.